You know, for months, we've been reporting on important changes to the Dallas Police Department, which includes hiring as many as 900 more officers and changing to the standards of hiring. It's been nearly a year since voters passed a controversial charter amendment that mandates increasing the force.
Our Investigates team has been digging into how we got here in partnership with ProPublica and the Texas Tribune. They also looked at who's behind these amendments and how they're changing Dallas.
Here's senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez.
This November, the most important vote you cast.
They came with money.
Be a hero and go the distance.
They came with ads.
Dallas city leaders
and they came with a message that Dallas is out of control and only they can fix it.
Meanwhile, our city descends to anarchy.
This is what people want. They want to be safe.
But critics say instead, out-of-towners hijacked the city.
You know, these folks that jump in here and say, we need to do this. Who in the hell are you? Where did you come from?
In 2024, a group called Dallas Hero delivered more than 170,000 signatures to City Hall to get amendments to the city charter on the ballot. On November 5th, 2024, voters approved 2 of those amendments, and changes have already begun in Dallas. Proposition U mandates the hiring of nearly 900 more officers to reach a minimum force of 4,000. Proposition S removes Dallas's governmental immunity from lawsuits, allowing citizens to sue the city if it fails to meet the police hiring goal or violates any other local or state law.
This is chocolate-covered rat poison.
Former Mayor Mike Rawlings is proud of all Dallas's first, but not this one.
We were going to give away our governmental immunity that no city in America has ever done.
They don't have the right to
The campaign behind these amendments was bankrolled by Highland Park hotel mogul Monty Bennett, a top GOP political donor. He spoke frequently prior to the vote.
I don't want the city to be mocked like Philadelphia is or like some of these other cities and for them to turn into hellholes. And Dallas is on that path, and I'm worried about it.
But it was Pete Morocco who led the nonprofit called Dallas Hero to pass the amendments. You may recognize that name. This year, Morocco was chosen to lead the effort to dismantle USAID by President Trump.
It is ridiculous.
Like Bennett, Morocco spoke frequently prior to the November vote.
Businesses and homes are robbed with impunity, yet we are insulted with disingenuous word soup. That city leaders are waiting at the negotiating table to debate pension details. Meanwhile, our city descends to anarchy.
WFAA reached out to Dallas Hero for interviews with Bennett, Morocco, and others. A spokeswoman said Morocco is no longer affiliated with Hero, issued a short statement and said no one would be going on camera. Please kindly stop contacting us about this, the spokesperson wrote. Monty Bennett later sent us an email answering some of our questions. The solution to hiring more police officers is to pay them better. It's no more complicated than that. Pay them what they're worth. Critics say Hero backers tried to paint Dallas as a dangerous and violent city. We fact-checked that with DPD and FBI statistics, and violent crime is on track to go down for a 4th year in a row. In 2024, Dallas had one of the lowest homicide rates in decades.
To the point of crime is out of control, it's not.
Former Dallas interim chief Mike Igo sat down with us to talk about the amendments and the chances that hiring nearly 900 more officers will actually happen.
Right now, to hire that many officers, it is not possible.
Let's start with the cost to train hundreds of new officers.
The rough average cost per recruit is about $150,000 times 900 officers. That's a large sum of money.
That money is not in the current budget. The other challenge, low starting pay for Dallas police. Dallas officers entering the academy had earned a minimum of $75,000, while other local departments offer higher starting pay. The newly approved budget, which took effect October 1st, raises DPD's starting salary to just over $81,000 a year, but it still lags behind several other local departments. The city says its new budget is in compliance with Proposition U. In an email to WFAA, Bennett disagreed. With respect, it just doesn't seem like this is true. Regarding cuts to the budget to fund more police, he said, government will always blame imposed outside requirements when it has to curb its profligate spending.
Are you trying to build a better department? are you trying to destroy a city?
One of the most vocal critics of the HERO amendments is a former state lawmaker, Republican Fred Frazier, who was endorsed by President Trump. He also spent nearly 30 years as a Dallas police officer and for years led the Dallas Police Association and pushed for the hiring of more officers.
I want to know, are we the experiment?
Current and former Dallas leaders worried Dallas was a testing ground to potentially shift political control in blue minority-led cities.
Can citizens step up and stop us from following the trends of Portland, Chicago, San Francisco, other degenerate cities that we don't want to be like?
But this isn't the first time a group tried to force a big Texas city to rearrange its city budget to hire hundreds more cops.
We're going to have to fight.
In 2021, Save Austin Now tried to convince voters to pass an ordinance forcing the hiring of about 300 more police.
Do you feel safer?
They had a similar message that crime was out of control.
Violent crime rates are trending up.
But it failed at the ballot box. The co-founder of Save Austin Now, a Republican strategist, told WFAA that Bennett came to him for advice on gathering signatures and messaging, but stressed the two groups were not officially affiliated. But critics wonder if this is part of an emerging pattern. Dallas Councilwoman Carolyn King Arnold has been outspoken about how HERO could negatively impact the city. Before the November vote, Pete Morocco accused the councilwoman of threatening to use public funds to campaign against the amendments. He wrote, "This is a patent violation of Texas election code."
I have no idea what this individual is really talking about. One thing I do know that we have as council members, we have First Amendment rights. We should not be intimidated from individuals that we don't know. This is not democracy, it's demonic.
Could this make an opposite effect?
Frazier worries this all creates a new problem for Dallas.
Where, okay, you're mandated to do this, well, now the city's broke. Because they're now being sued, they're all tied up in court.
We learned during this investigation, one lawsuit involving the city has already cited the HERO amendment, stripping away governmental immunity. The city has argued that despite the new HERO amendment, the city still has immunity from lawsuits. A judge has yet to rule on that. But for a city like Dallas that wants to draw more businesses to the city and fuel more growth, all of this uncertainty could derail those efforts.
It would make it less likely that businesses would move here.
Rawlings says what may have started as a campaign for public safety has become something else entirely, a battle for who really controls Dallas. In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
You can read more about our investigation in collaboration with ProPublica and the Texas Tribune on our website, WFAA.com.